What's up, everybody? Dana Rock Zero right here with another video. 1999 year in review continues with Slamboree from WCW. And these next two videos will be WCW reviews, as I'm going to skip Over the Edge and just go right to King of the Ring with the WWF, as Over the Edge should have never fucking continued and should have never even... The matches on that card didn't happen. Triple H versus The Rock in a completely forgotten match. I think The Undertaker won the world title, actually. Just a bizarre, creepy freaking show to watch, honestly. But I didn't really watch it at all. I didn't watch any of it because it just should not have fucking continued. But that's a story for another video. This is Slamboree. And we lucked out with Spring Stampede being a great show. However, here, as I said with Uncensored, the shit, you could start smelling the shit coming. And Slamboree starts that downward trend. Shit's hitting the fan, and you can clearly smell it. Because Slamboree is not a good show in any means. So we start off with a great match, however. A great match, probably the only good match, the only great match in the whole card. It's a triangle tag team match for the WCW tag team titles, as Raven and Saturn defeated Dean Malenko and Chris Benoit, and the other team was Billy Kidman and Rey Mysterio Jr. This triangle tag team match was just a great match. It goes about 17-18 minutes long, and it's a really damn good match. Ending even flow DT off of the top turnbuckle. A lot of great stuff. Broken up finishers. The problem I kind of had, I would give it maybe a 9 out of 10, 4.5 stars, but I give it an 8. 4 stars out of 5, and 8 out of 10, just because if you trimmed out maybe 5 minutes of this match, it is a 9 out of 10, but it just kind of is a little bit of clustered. Arn Anderson gets in there and hits a mean-ass double-A spinebuster on Perry Saturn. And at the same time, Dean Malenko got the Texas Cloverleaf on Saturn, and Raven has the pinfall. So, ref don't know what the hell to do. He counts the pin, and new WCW Tag Team Champions. Also note, there was a guy wearing a Sting mask with a Wolfpack, an NWO Wolfpack cap, and a DDP shirt. Yeah, a DDP shirt, a Sting mask, and an NWO Wolfpack hat. Yeah, that's like me wearing a Hulkamania bandana, the Ultimate Warrior mask, and a Macho Man shirt. Just bizarre. And it ends up being Canyon. Anyways, great match. 8 out of 10. Moving on to an atrocious, terrible match between Stevie Ray and Conan. As Conan beats Stevie Ray. This match was just, you had like 3 NWO guys. You had Vincent, Horace Hogan, and some other fuck. Rey Mysterio interferes, and seated Santon from Rey Mysterio. Simultaneously, Conan gets a schoolboy pin, gets the victory. Bad match, 1 out of 10. Moving on. Moving on to a hardcore match between Bam Bam Bigelow and Brian Knobbs. This match was just... I don't know how to describe this match because it was just really a mess. It was a mess. It was just chair shots and trash lids and just no flow, no real chemistry whatsoever. I give it a 3 out of 10, 1.5 stars. Nothing to it at all. Just Bam Bam picks up the victory on the outside. He pinned him on the outside. Just blech. Moving on next. Rick Steiner defeats Booker T for the television title. Interference from Scott Steiner, of course. Rick Steiner gets the TV title and beats Booker T in another bad match. 2 out of 10, 1 star. Just Booker T wasn't a good time for Booker T. Wasn't a good time for Booker T during this. Not a good time for Booker T. His career in WCW was starting to slide off here, as we would see by the time 2000 Slamboree comes around, where he's fucking GI Bro, for God's sakes, and he feuds with Big T he feuds with Ahmed Johnson over the letter T. Let's go with that. Yeah, so Booker T's career in WCW starts to slip, but gets the world title any fucking ways. Then we get to a bizarre yet really intriguing, entertaining match. Hold your breath here. As I say these two names, you're going to say, what the fuck are you thinking? That's the worst match I could ever hear. And from the sound of it, it does sound like it could be the worst match of all time. But bear with me here. You got Charles Robinson, that's right. Little Nate, the guy who ends up being in charge of WCW for a little bit because Ric Flair's in an insane asylum here. Little Nate, and he takes on Gorgeous George, which is Randy Savage's valet. Yes, so we got a referee versus a valet. You think it's the worst match of all time? It's really one of the funniest freaking things I've ever seen. Basically, you have Charles Robinson coming out, acting like Ric Flair. He's dressed like Ric Flair. He looks like Ric Flair. He's wearing the robe. He's doing the strut, right? Here comes Gorgeous George, right, with the Macho Man. And the match starts out, and they have a little conference talk between each other. You know, Charles Robinson talks with Ric Flair, and Macho Man talks with Gorgeous George. And then all of a sudden, they do a bunch of wrist locks, and they do some hammer locks and some reversals, and they do like a bunch of wrist locks, and they keep reversing. It's just a really fun sequence. Actually, they do like a couple of reversing hammer locks, and it looks, you know, It actually, you think it's bad, but it looks really it's really entertaining to watch, honestly. There's a couple of funny moments in there. Charles Robinson locks in a figure four leg lock that's better than the Miz's figure four leg lock. Some funny stuff. Randy Savage hits a low blow on Charles Robinson. Ric Flair tries to interfere. Charles Robinson does the whole Ric Flair skit like it's his job. Just entertaining. Gorgeous George hit a freaking middle rope elbow drop. And it looks not bad. I give 3.5 out of 10. 3.5 out of 10. That's right. 3.5 out of 10. Honestly, it's pretty entertaining to watch, honestly. You'll have a laugh. You think it's the worst of all time, but honestly, you get a good chuckle out of it. It's a really nice, entertaining match. And you know what? Wrestling's not supposed to be serious anyways. It's supposed to be fun. And you know what? I like having matches like this. I like having matches like that. Moving on to Scott Steiner defeating Buff Bagwell via submission for the United States title. This match was a fine, decent match. The promos that Scott Steiner cut were insanely, hilariously funny as shit, as Scott Steiner is. He's the best, worst promo interview guy of all time. But, there's a big heel turn that's obvious. 4.5 out of 10 as Scott Steiner wins. Then we get to two old fucks, Roddy Piper versus Ric Flair. And, both men are, I think, 50 years old here. Actually, yeah, Roddy Piper is 50-ish, and Ric Flair is 50-ish. And you know what? They go out there and have a match like they possibly could do at their time. There you have Roddy Piper with 2 bad hips. Actually, one's replaced. And Ric Flair is in a goddamn terrible storyline. But the promos leading up to this match are just fucking hilarious. You have Ric Flair tearing his clothes off to his boxers and dropping elbows on his clothes. You have him stripping down to his boxers, saying gold wrist locks, gold wrist watch, $10,000. Throws him in the crowd, 10,000, takes him out, takes out 15 grand, elbow drops them all. He talks to Roddy Piper. I'm the president of the United States. He says to a kid, shut your mouth, punk. The promos by Ric Flair are just funny as hell. I know he wasn't liking the company. I know he wasn't like being in an insane asylum, that whole storyline. But god fucking damn it, he made the best out of it. And his promos were legendary, and they were hilarious, and they were funny as shit. And this match was fine for... It's fine for 2 50-year-old men going at it. 2 legends go at it. Way over the hill. It's fine. 5 out of 10. It's fine. It's fine for what it is. Piper gets a DQ victory. Check out the promos. They're hilarious as shit. Just search Ric Flair Goes Nuts, and you'll see a bunch of promos from this time. Moving on to probably one of the biggest matchups you could probably think of in this time period. We get Sting and we get Goldberg. And, however, this match is it should be amazing. It should be the greatest match of all time. It's just not working. Double count out and goes to a draw. I wanted it to be great, but it wasn't great. It was decent, and that's about it. 5 out of 10. It's about 6 minutes long. Moving on to the main event. We have Kevin Nash defeating Diamond Dallas Page for the World Heavyweight Championship in the main event here. Decent match here. 6 out of 10, but the finish is stupid. Why have Kevin Nash win the world title? I'll tell you why, because he's a fucking booker. So, there it is. Not much to say about this main event. It's a good main event, but the finish fucks it for me. I would give it a 7, but here's Diamond Dallas Page. He wins at Spring Stampede. He has an amazing match with Sting on Nitro. Loses it to Sting. Wins it back in a Fatal 4-Way that same night. And then loses it to Kevin Nash just because he's a booker. Whatever. Fine. 6 out of 10. Overall, Spring Stampede is a huge disappointment compared to Spring Stampede. Slamboree is a really bad show, but it's not bad compared to Great American Bash, and I will get to that cluster shit fest of a show. Slamboree overall gets a 4.2 out of 10. It's bad, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as Uncensored. It's slightly better than Uncensored. It's just a huge letdown from Spring Stampede. We lucked out from that show, and you can smell the shit coming because these following WCW reviews just get worse and worse and worse. I'll catch you next time on the flip side. Slamboree 4.2 out of 10. My next review is the Great American Bash. And guess what? It's a bash to the skull because it sucked. See you next time. Peace.